Developing professional skills. This module allows students to prepare skills and competencies that directly link to the workplace. It combines skills building such as teamwork, employability, leadership, public speaking, and technical skills such as creating business-specific profiles such as LinkedIn. Semester 1, I began with skills audit, SWOT, and gap analysis. With the results I gained, I created a PDP. Semester 2 then worked on CV writing, LinkedIn profile creation, and personal brand development. Through this, I will develop how these skills, assessments, and tasks have better prepared me for my aspirations in the management of electronic dance music events by enhancing my networking strategies of how to connect with professionals and how to access opportunities. In this radar diagram, it displayed that I need to spend more time studying than on my social life, as it can be disruptive. An improvement to this would make a significant effect on my productivity and skills. Communication skills are key as they make daily activities work much easier. Despite it already being somewhat strong, it can definitely be improved. My networking, this is a high category for me, as knowing the correct people can allow me to reach my goals quicker and more effectively. Family, it's a high priority to see family as much as possible, as they are a key factor in my life and they are comforting to be around. Having the money I want would lead to more rewarding and an easier life, ultimately making me happier. Being consistent in the gym will boost my endorphins and make me feel a lot better about myself. Happiness, being happy is the most important thing to me as it determines how I will live my life. Social, seeing friends is very ideal for me as it boosts my overall well-being. And here you can see the red dots are where I was currently at, and the green dots are where I wanted to be. So the SWOT and gap analysis for semester 1. The strengths were a solid IT and communication skills, self-awareness and time management, limited experience with advanced software such as Photoshop and Premiere Pro, inconsistent organization and low creative confidence, access to online learning chances to apply creative tools in real contexts, and potential career enhancement through upskilling. Threats, risk of falling behind without technical growth, loss of motivation without structure, and over-reliance on basic tools. And the SWOT summary showed technical skills, comfortable with basic software, but I lack experience in tools like Premiere Pro and Photoshop. The action, take online tutorials to apply skills in projects. My organizational skills, can manage time but I struggle with structured planning. The use of planners or tools like Trello or Notion, as well as Nat's planning model. Independent learning, I'm willing to learn, but I need to take more initiative and a hands-on practice. The action for this would be setting goals and to engage in self-led projects. Creative confident, basic design sense, but I lack the creative confidence for using skills and producing them. Action, do small creative projects such as study design principles and seek feedback from peers. With my skills audit, it showed that my strong skills were confident in the basic in basic tools such as PowerPoint, Word, and Excel, email, and use of the internet. Effective communication, I can speak clearly, listen, and strong writing. Strong in personal development, independent learning, time management, self-awareness, and budgeting. Areas for improvement, limited with databases, smartphones, and other technologies, needs to development and recognise opportunities, reflective learning, and applying knowledge in other areas. Here was the first PDP that I presented in semester 1, which was to work on my own business in events management to focus on specific goals. I'd need money, time, and support from business partners to achieve this. A criteria for success would be the personal enjoyment and the turnout of the events. The second one was to work on balanced organisational skills, so the use of a notebook, a calendar, or things like NATS model would be able to measure my objectives and effectively complete them. Just the resources I need were my own time to set aside and plan and reflect back and to see the progress that I've made and the objectives that I've completed. Criteria for success would be consistently achieving my to-do list and projects. Increasing my networking output at events and other places. So attending events as well as being more present on my own, involving myself with the community around music. I wouldn't need anything other than the money to go to these events. So the success criteria would be making new friends in the form of DJs, producers, booking agents, and promoters. More technical skills. Achieve this by taking technical classes on websites such as Skillshare. All I'd need was a subscription and a laptop. And a successful criteria would be the actual work that I create and just feeling more comfortable on those things. And then here is the comparison of my semester 2 analysis. So my strengths are now using Photoshop and minimally using Premiere Pro. I've become more confident and self-directed in online learning. Better time management with tools like planners and task apps and the use of NATS model. My weakness is still developing fluency in advanced software, so getting used to Premiere Pro and all of its features. Organisational difficulty, still finding issues with my organisation, finding the perfect balance of how to do that. The need for real-world applications of skills, so maybe doing some freelance designing. Opportunities, again, looking at freelance project to work on my skills, exploring more advanced softwares such as Illustrator and Premiere Pro, to network with other creative spaces for feedback and collaboration. My threats is the risk of plateauing without new challenges or feedback, completing with more experienced creative roles, the potential to revert back to old habits, and the overwhelming from juggling skills building and other responsibilities. Here is some proof of designs that I've done and how I've progressed in my skills and proficiencies in design for my events company. These are some of the posters that I've created. And some of the other tasks that we took into account in semester 2 would be the personal branding. Firstly, personal branding presents value strengths as well as the identity clearly and consistently across platforms. So self-awareness clarifies what you stand for and the strengths and understandings of your own emotions, values and motivations. Self-regulation, the management of how you're viewed and helps practice communication. CV building. CV building is the act of creating document that communicates your skills, achievements, and experiences to potential employees. LinkedIn profile mine is shown here on the right, and it's a professional social media site which allows for ease of networking and displaying one's skills to like-minded individuals in the same fields. Yep, and then this is my new and revised business, my revised PDP, which applies further strengthening my technical proficiencies with creative software, maybe dedicating 3 to 5 hours a week learning, and maybe chatting with other people in Discord groups to get regular feedback. I need access to software, skills, websites, and platforms such as YouTube to access important tips and skills. Confident use of Photoshop, as well as exploring tools such as Illustrator, Premiere Pro for complete creative projects would be my success criteria. Work on improvements in multi-project organization and time management, so the use of further use of Gantt chart or weekly scheduling system for overlapping tasks, which is something that I will need to work on. I just need my own time to set aside and create these calendars and organizational systems. To maintain a consistent and structured workflow would be my success for criteria. Develop independence in personal learning, so it'd just be setting aside more time to learn these techniques. I wouldn't need anything other than the time and access to websites which can teach skills such as YouTube, Skillshare. I'd like to be fully self-directed in identifying and maintaining tools, also to explain them to others to further solidify my knowledge. Build creative confidence in and a personal design portfolio. Completing and designing 4 to 6 pieces for a portfolio to showcase my personal branding, posters, and digital media. A subscription to Premiere Pro and a laptop and the other softwares that I use. A successful criteria would be to produce consistent work or real life interactions with people through the use of said portfolio, and those are the references.